Welcome back to the Forex Fortress as we get ready for a Wednesday of nice little short-term Forex analysis, following up on Monday's analysis, actually, as yesterday I did not do a Forex video, feeling a little bit under the weather myself, feeling a little bit, I guess, better today, yes, I suppose, but more importantly, we got plenty to talk about, and then also follow up on Bitcoin as well. So with that said, we will always, or as always, start off with good old Dixie, of which Dixie still grind out the low. We did say that this area was a macro area, marked off by the 89.75 region right here. So I do believe that we are going to spend a little bit of time kind of oscillating to and fro within this region, but ultimately I am looking for a bit of a medium-term reversal based upon this. With that in mind, of course, long-term is still very much under pressure. We do have a weekly death cross, and we did see the big bad breakdown amongst major supports at the 92.25 level over here. So that still does take a lot of precedence, but on the short-term timeframes and the medium-term timeframes, it is looking like a bit of a reversal here. So 4 hour actually is going to be a little bit short-term bullish, likely back up towards about 90.69, great number right there, and daily probably does make a run for the 21 exponential average right here, just below 91 bucks. So with that said, I would still be cautious of this one, as it likely does put in some time around this level, but ultimately I do think that it will give a bit of a rally to the upside, and then we'll just kind of judge how high that rally gets before either the next lower high or an actual break back above that critical zone that broke, I don't know, I guess it was like a month and a half ago now at 92.25. So with that in mind, let's start it off with good old Aussie dollar to lead it up, and a bit of a pullback here after hitting our long-term weekly target right around the 377 exponential average right here. Now, what does that lead on to into the lower term timeframes? It does look like, well, it's either reaccumulation or distribution here, and I don't think that we have enough price action to judge it just yet, in fact. I would be looking for the next move to actually bring it down, however, probably back down to the 75 cent 10 region right there. Looking at the daily right here, it is under pressure, obviously, but I don't really have any major calls in it as long as it's, of course, below this horizontal right here at about 75.85 and above basically the 21 exponential average at 75 even, actually. So as long as it's just kind of oscillating between here, I do look at it as, can still go either way. Obviously breaking below, and I'd start to target a major move down towards about 73.60, 73.70 into the upside. Where would be the next relevant region to the upside? Somewhere around here, actually, around those April 2018 highs at 77.5 cent. But for right now, I would be a little bit more short-term leaning towards the downside. However, I wouldn't really be willing to call like a greater downside move until this area breaks right here. And then, yes, we can target, much lower, I suppose. Anyways, moving on to CAD dollar. What do we see right here? Short-term timeframes do look a little bit under pressure here as well. Actually did just play out some regular bullish divergence right here. Credit to Caretaker for that one. And I probably would be looking for it to give maybe another slight try higher towards 7776. However, I do believe just like Aussie dollar, contrary to what we saw on Dixie, likely does come back down to test around this support at about 7740-ish region, and then it's game on once again. And sort of the same implications as far as that lower level on Aussie dollar would be the same thing as CAD dollar right here at about 77, let's call it 7740 or 7743. And if that area does break, I would look for a much greater move to the downside, an actual breakout to the downside towards 7680-ish region. However, looking at the daily, I'd imagine this is probably not looking all that actually, no, I would be bearish on this one on the daily. Yeah, fair enough. Short-term down, medium-term down. Yeah, that one's actually a lot easier than Aussie dollar. Weekly does look toppy here and does look like another lower high and a series of lower highs over the last almost 10 years now, going back to, or actually, yeah, more than 10 years, going back to 07. So yeah, if I did have to call it right now, this is going to be your next macro lower high, working off these last ones from September 2017, and this would be creating one, I guess I already have it in there, one massive descending triangle, which we can just equate to like this on the macro. Something like this would be about right, with a nice bottom side support coming in right around here. We'll call it. So it probably does take a long time to fill out this area, but short-term, medium-term is down, and then long-term, probably does come down as well, but I'd want to see a bounce first somewhere off this level right here, somewhere off this 7680-ish region. Assuming the breakdown to begin with. Anyways, moving on to Swiss franc dollar, short-term down. I'd be looking for another move back down towards 111.90 on a daily. Could we extend that move? I would be looking for a bounce off that level first, 111.90. If 111.90 does break to the downside, however, I would extend targets all the way down towards 110.85. This is very interesting here, though, because all of these setups are turning into potential swing failure patterns, which would be very nasty, very bearish, and would drive further targets south. But we do do see this playing obviously opposite of Dixie, and that does make sense. So I would still give the weekly the nod here, especially with Swiss franc dollar, which has been more or less constructive on the whole and one of the better actors. So short-term, medium-term is down, but unlike the other ones, I don't believe that macro is down on this one actually. Moving on to euro dollar, please go down, sir, please go down. But looking at the weekly, it's it's just a backfill on last week's open. It's not anything too problematic, it looks like. Although the lower term time frames certainly do look problematic here. 4 hours certainly down, short term to 121.450, and daily I'd extend that down to 121 even actually. I'd be looking for a bounce at 121, however, and then come back to it after that. Daily does have a lot of things angled against it right now, though. Daily Stokes pointed southwards. Daily RSI is kicked out of the bullish control zone. I would actually be looking for this one to come down at the very least to 121, probably short-term bounce there, and then I want to see it in real time. But again, referencing the weekly, it's kind of hard to get like super bearish on this one as it is. But I would look for short-term, medium-term downside to be fair here. Pound yen, what do we see right here? We got some. Hey, what's up, Pesto? By the way, we're live over here on Twitch right now, just having a good time playing some Mount and wait, what is it called? Mountain? No. What the fuck is it called? I forget what it's called, but it's Bannerlord. There you go. So if you actually know how to play the game, please join and teach me, because I'm very much a noob, and we can talk about some trading in between as well. Anyways, looking at pound yen right here. Start off with the lower term time frames. Short term time frames actually up. This one a bit of a different chart here. Obviously, as it's not pegged against US dollar. I'll be looking for this one to pop back up somewhere around about 139.25. Looking at a daily. Looking at a daily, still have to be bearish on the whole, so any sort of an upside move actually would look to sell into. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but actually maybe we've already even seen that move. It wouldn't really imply too much higher. Daily is certainly down, though, and weekly is in limbo. Weekly looks all sorts of fucking weird, but long-term, yes, is one massive descending triangle, so I would be bearish, I suppose. Pound dollar. Ooh, oh, my God. Oh, my Lord. That is just ridiculous right there. What did momentum also to say here? Momentum also to say up. They say up right there. What about daily? Daily says down. I'd be looking for this one to come back down to 132.5. I have no short-term call on this one. Similar to pound yen, it's kind of hard to tell in the short term, but medium term, yes, I'd be looking for a little bit of downside. 132.5 is where I'm looking towards, and probably small bounce there. Weekly is not to be a critique just yet. I don't have any real reads on this as it is. If anything, I would be actually it's like long term. You kind of have to be bearish on this, but then again, I mean, that does look kind of strong right there, so fair enough. Anyways, moving on to yen dollar, what do we see? A much better actor on the weekly, still bullish long term. Daily, what do we see right here? Daily short term probably does come back down towards 96.29 region, but I would be looking for a bounce there. And 4 hour looks like it probably just trades sideways here and then tries another move to the upside. I'd put the relevancy here on the weekly. The weekly is very obviously upside angled, so short term, medium term, maybe sideways and down, but I'd ultimately be looking for that to get reaccumulated, especially as long as it's maintaining the weekly closures above, what is this, 95.60? Yeah, looks quite obvious right there. Nasdaq futures, I want to follow up on this from this morning. Do we have new all-time highs yet? Any new all-time highs? Any more of those new all-time highs you got, bro? No, not yet, but still looking overall good to me, man. Historical volatility percentile is incredibly low on the daily, by the way, so we probably are looking at a nice move, maybe even for Santa time, although markets will not be trading tomorrow. Wait, markets, do they not trade on Christmas Day or the day before? No, it is Christmas Day that they don't trade on, because I remember, because I used to go down to the floor, and then on Christmas Eve, I'd leave early, then go to my aunt and uncle's, and then, no, it was the next day that didn't have it. It was actually, fuck, which day is it? Actually, I actually don't know. I think actually tomorrow is day off and then Friday's half day, but I might have that backwards. Actually, I might have that backwards. Yeah, because usually when I go and have dinner with my aunt and uncle, we wouldn't go to work on that day. Yeah, that's right. It would be the next day. That's right. Okay. There is a okay, right. Crypto trades 24/7. True, but I'd imagine you're probably going to see a pretty lackluster day on Christmas. Anyways, if I'm looking at Nasdaq right here, I look at this as a consolidation at a high level. It probably does try a move towards the all-time high here and probably beyond. What do we got on? Where is my gold? There's my gold. Found my golds. Gold, interesting one here too. The weekly says don't get bearish. The weekly says still have a bias towards 1950 first target and 2030 second target based off of hidden bullish divergence right here and Stokes turning up as well. Daily is a little bit daily would have me worried. I don't feel as confident on gold though, to be honest with you. Here's what I can say. As long as the 4-hour rides a 200 simple at 1855, I'd generally be looking for this one to flip back around to the upside, actually. Back on a Bitcoin. Okay, so we did hit our move to the downside on Bitcoin from this morning's video, all the way down to 22,800, it looks like. And then almost immediately, a $1,000 move to the upside. I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Gravy, as he called it out during the Twitch stream. It's like, I just took a trade at 22.9. Nice one. 5 minutes later, you're up $1,000, brother. Nice one. Fucking nice. Really good trading right there. And more importantly, was that the move that we were looking for? Yes, it was. However, has the range broken at all here? Is anything different? No, the blue boxes still hold. We could obviously raise this up a little bit here. Well, no, I do want to keep it in line with that 2-spot 414 extension, so fair enough. Actually, we'll keep it there for now. However, I do want to see a closure above this region. Preferably, in my case, I'd actually be a little bit more on the conservative side and want to see a closure above 24,100 or even probably 24,000 just does it as well, just 24,000 even, that is. Then I'd be looking for another $500, $600 move to the 2-spot 618. But we do have a measure move off of this formation here towards a 3-spot extension at 25,750. Now, here's the thing. There is a very classic trappy area, and that is the 2-spot 618 on an extension like this, as well as a 3-spot 618 over here too. And while the measure move is pointed more north of that, I would be very, very defensive around this region right here if things do even initiate that move to begin with. For right now, what do we see on momentum oscillators? We do see momentum oscillators still pointed northward, still very much erect, and that's your 4-hour. There's your 3-hour. Looks like it was going to pop back up with the closure above 23,840. We got our bi-hourly right here, coming back up above that same level, 23,850 about, and hourly already popping back up. So I do look at this as a little bit of sideways within this region, but if you do see any sort of 4-hour closures above that level, I would start to look for everything else to follow through, and that probably does give it an actual try there. By the way, hidden bullish divergence did get initiated on that bottom right there, to be fair, but probably called it a little bit after the move here too. Anyways, looking at the 12-hour. The 12 hours is the big one as well that I really want to see. I want to see 12-hour Stokes cross back onto the upside. If that does happen at this level, I probably would be looking for an actual break to the upside. Let's see. Is there anything more obvious here? Do we have any other? Yeah, that's what I thought we might see. Hidden bullish divergence can be confirmed on the 6-hour here too. Actually, that would be recalling it way the fuck back there. So it actually doesn't make too much sense, to be fair. But overall, this does look like higher highs and higher lows. I mean, it's continuation of trend at the end of the day, and I just don't even switch on to like actually bearish on this, as we spoke about for the last couple days, until we actually break below this level right here. Hey, stop that. 22,600 region right here. If that does happen, I would target moves, basically $2,000 lower at the very least. Bounces along the way probably at 20,800 or 20,900, but ultimately I would be looking for a $2,000 move to the downside, and then we'll talk about it after that. But for right now, still sideways within this region. However, the reaction has been pretty damn good after meeting that target from the earlier video this morning, and I would want to, I want to kind of see it rest for a little bit and come back to it tomorrow with obvious areas above here and below here, just as we spoke about before. So with that said, I want to wish you the best of the best. Take care. And oh yeah, we also have a sale going on, so check that out. All right, take care, and until next time.